Yeah, I want to strongly second those last comments. And I think this needs to be taken seriously, and there needs to be serious public discussion of this. I don't know what the venue for that is. It's primarily a legislative issue, but it's also a regs issue. This law is really unfair and really undemocratic. I'm on the Franklin Region Transit Authority, and I'm proposing a fairly complicated plan to reorganize Montague's transportation routes, and it involves financing, and it involves, now, if I'm not on the FRTA board, and I'm a citizen interested in transportation, I can sit down and lobby the members of that board one-on-one, and it's complicated. It's a sit-down discussion, and that's the way life is. It's true in the legislature, and I'm sure it's true in your office. Not everything happens at a public meeting in your office, I'm sure. So it's and I'm sorry for I know this isn't your fault, but I got an edge to this because it's been 10 years.
What's your name, sir? I'm sorry.
My name is Jeff Singleton for Montague. If I'm not on the FRTA board, I have a democratic right. I have a democratic right to sit down with members of that board and lobby for my plan. And in fact, that's not only considered, that's considered a good thing. It's called civic engagement. As soon as I join the board, I'm prohibited from doing that. If I'm not on the board, I can send an email around, and I understand the potential dangers. I totally understand it. What you're worried about is people making decisions over email. That's basically, as soon as that came on, I get it. But the fact is, you know, you don't just send around information. You send around complicated things on complex local issues, and sometimes you can't necessarily do that within a 10-minute agenda item, you know, on your twice-a-month meeting. And number two, most of that stuff, most local board members are probably going to talk about at a public meeting for the most part anyway. So nobody's really hiding anything from the public here. There seems to an awful lot of the stuff you dealt with, I understand, but the fact of the matter is, in most cases where this law gets violated, it's not because people are deliberately trying to hide. It's because they're dealing with complicated issues and they want to say something to fellow board members who are also interested in transportation or planning. And the human nature and political nature is they want to talk to those people who agree with them and are interested in it. I mean, this is a very artificial law that breeds rank amateurism and is undemocratic. I really think now that's a legislative. So the question is, what do you do about it? Mostly that's a legislative issue, but I think the definition of a quorum and the definition of deliberation could definitely be eased somewhat or nuanced somewhat to allow more of this normal political behavior to happen.